Yo, what is happening, guys, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Fighting Challenge. You can tell by the title on the thumbnail, we'll be talking about stuff, and yes, I know we're a little bit late too, but we're going to be touching on it nonetheless. It was the Dustin Poirier versus Islam fight. One hell of a fucking fight. Holy shit. I think we were all on the same page here. We all believed that Islam was going to win, but we all, in our hearts, knew and wanted Dustin Poirier to win. We all wanted him to win gold because we know he's coming to the end of it, but we just wanted to see him raise the belt. That was what we all wanted, but we knew Islam was such a tough fucking fight, and it probably wouldn't go Dustin's way, and it didn't, unfortunately. But that's the fight game. But we're going to talk over the fight a little bit and talk about why this fight was such a good fight. And honestly, I believe that this fight proved that I know a lot. I know Dustin Poirier came up short. I know he lost. And I know he lost convincingly, right? I know it was obviously Islam's win. Even if he didn't submit Poirier in the fifth round, it was clearly his win in a lot of people's opinions and mine. But I still think Dustin Poirier showed that he's still a good fucking fighter at this point. He's like, what, 35, 36? But he stayed in there with Islam. He did a lot of good things in this fight that proved that he's still a contender. Even if he didn't beat the champ, he contended with the champ. He stayed in there with the champ. There was a lot of things that Islam did that Dustin Poirier, you know, did to prevent him winning. And it's like, for example, round one ended with Dustin Poirier in a very vulnerable position where Islam was probably going to finish him, but then the bell saved them, right? Then you move on to round two. And round two, three, four, five, basically all the same. Islam was going for the wrestling, Dustin Poirier was going for the striking. That was their two things. Islam tried to take down Dustin Poirier the entire fight. And the thing that I loved was Dustin Poirier, he got taken down a couple times in this fight, but he fucking had good takedown defense. You know, he didn't constantly get taken down. There were so many times Islam went for the takedown, went for the leg sweep, and Dustin Poirier got out of it. There was a point where Islam had Dustin Poirier up against the cage. He was behind him, and Dustin Poirier slipped and switched out and got behind Islam, and it was good movement. He knew Islam was going to come in. He knew Islam's a wrestler, and he wanted to take him to the ground to submit him or for the elbows. Like, that's what he knew what he wanted to do. It's like Khabib. You know Khabib doesn't want to stand and strike with you. You know Khabib wants to take you to the ground. So you have to have good takedown defense. That's the number one thing you're going to have because you can't win a striking match when you're on the floor being wrestled the entire time or being submitted. You know what I mean? So this entire fight was Islam trying to get the wrestling, trying to get Poirier on the ground. Poirier having good takedown defense, obviously getting taken down a couple times, but most of the takedowns, he had good takedown defense. There was a lot of close calls, but he ended up getting out. Every time he did get taken down or almost got taken down, he came forward. He had good body work. He came forward. He fucking threw the punches. He didn't back down once. Islam was outstriking him, I believe. By the time Islam and Poirier went into the fifth round, I believe Joe Rogan said that Islam landed 22 more significant strikes than Dustin Poirier, so Islam was outstriking him. But Dustin Poirier was still standing his ground. He was still there. No matter what he got hit with, he kept coming forward. Both men ended up bloody. Dustin Poirier's nose was fucking bleeding. Islam's fucking head was bleeding. Both men were bloody. Both men were ready to go to fucking war, and that was it. And it just continued. I think it was rounds one and three. Dustin was in a bad position, but he somehow got himself out of it. There was times he was taken to the ground, and he was patient with it. He put himself in a few bad positions on the ground with Islam, but he was able to get himself out of it. He was able to get himself back on his feet, back in the game, stop the next takedown, strike. Then he got some good body work on fucking Islam. He put some good fucking work on him. Sorry, the camera messed up there. No, he got some good work on him. Man, it was such a good fucking fight. I genuinely, I don't even know what to say anymore. It was such a good fucking fight. And like I said, I know it wasn't a close fight on the scorecards, but it was a close fight in the terms of how fucking good it was, how game both men were. I know Islam was up on the scorecards. I know he was winning convincingly going into that fifth round regardless. But Dustin Poirier, no matter what he got hit with, no matter how many times Islam tried to take him down, Islam hit him with shit, he was just there. The blood was pissing out, but he was standing there. He was ready to trade. Dustin Poirier made it clear he was ready to go to fucking war, and that's exactly what he fucking did. The fight before, Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, that was one of those fights that I'm pretty sure Sean Strickland said that he is ready to go to war, and a lot of people found that fight very boring. I think as a from a Strickland standpoint, it was entertaining. Strickland, it was a dominating win, but it wasn't an exciting fight because Strickland just dominated the entire time. Paulo Costa didn't really fucking do anything back. Strickland has this like he's just one of the best strikers. He's gonna walk forward. He's gonna outstrike you. So the whole card was quite poorly rated by a lot of people online. A lot of people said that this was on track to be one of the worst UFC cards, which is a big statement because this was the 302nd UFC card. So to say it was on track to be one of the worst, I mean, there was no knockouts, there was no TKOs this entire card, so it was built up to maybe be a disappointment. The Strickland versus Cost, like I said, it was quite predictable. Strickland was going to dominate it, and he did. It wasn't like a highlight reel fight, and then we got into the main event, and that was the saving grace. I've already explained why it was saving grace. Both men were game. Both men were ready to die in that fucking octagon to win this fight the whole way through the first 4 rounds, and that's the way it went. We go into the fifth round then, and they're both game. But that's when it goes bad for Dustin because then Islam obviously gets him in that position. He gets him on the ground finally where he wants him. He then finally, the one time, Dustin just this one time couldn't get away, could not slip his way. And Islam obviously ended up getting a lock in and submitting Dustin Poirier in the fifth round. And it's a shame. Would have loved to see it at least go to decision. And Dustin Poirier, still be there. Even when the bell rings in the fifth round, it would have been nice to see Dustin Poirier still stand there, being like, "I may have lost, but I'm still here. I'm still game. You didn't defeat me. You beat me, but you didn't defeat me because I'm still fucking standing." But unfortunately, he got submitted. He was talking about this possibly being his last fight. Hopefully, it's not. But I don't know, man. I don't think Poirier is washed. I don't think Poirier should retire yet. And I know he said that what's the point in him fighting if it's not for a belt because he's fought. He said he's addicted to it, but he's fought. He has the money. It's not about the money. He has the money now. The thrill of it. It's you fight for the thrill of it, yeah, but he wants the championship. That's the number one thing. And he said if he's not fighting for the championship, then what's the point? And that's a good reason. But at the same time, like I said, he competed. Islam won convincingly, but Dustin Poirier was still there. He competed. He stood there. You hit him with everything, and he kept fucking coming forward. And I still think he's one of the most entertaining fighters. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like you put him in there with a lot of the top people in the weight division, he's still gonna fucking go for it. Losing the fucking Islam is nothing to be fucking ashamed about because Islam is a fucking beast, whether you like him or not. He's a champ for a reason. He's a beast. Islam's even talking about going up a weight class to try and take another fucking belt because he's gonna get bored defending the title. That was literally basically what he said. It's gonna be boring defending the title, so he wants to challenge himself and go up another weight class. He's literally like Khabib. Losing to him, there's no shame in it. And the fact that yes, you got submitted, but you stayed there the entire time. You took some big fucking shots. You stopped the takedown that many fucking times. You good takedown defense. You showed that you still had good fighting IQ, that you could still take fucking shots and give shots. The fact that you can take this much damage and still come forward. I don't think Dustin Poirier should give up yet. I don't think he should throw in the towel yet. I understand he wants the gold, and he made a good few points. Like I said, he has the money, and he also turned around and said that he's in good health, and that's the most important thing. Whether you want to see them continue to fight or not, that is the most important thing. To see these fighters leave without the brain damage, without the permanent fucking damage of any part of them from the fight game. We want to see them leave healthy. And he also said he doesn't want to be one of those guys that's hanging on, kind of like he didn't say Tony Ferguson, but kind of like Tony Ferguson. Where as much as we want to see him win, and as much as we don't want to see him leave the UFC and go into retirement, it's kind of that fucking time. You know what I mean? It's past his time. He's ran his course, unfortunately. And Dustin Poirier said he doesn't want to be that guy that's kind of hanging on and grasping for that whenever it's not him anymore. But I just think he's still got it. That's just my opinion. I think he's still got it. But if he does retire, I can understand, if it's not fighting for the gold, he already has the money. And then on top of all else, he's in good health. And, one fight can make a difference. He could go into another fight and he could get brain damage. He could get something severely happen, like something could go wrong. And if you don't need to fight, then you shouldn't fight. But for entertainment purposes, he's still entertaining as fuck. And for his level, I still think he competes. And that is my whole take on it. I still think he competes, and I'd love to see him continue to fight. But you know what? If this is the end for Dustin the Diamond Poirier, well, then he had a hell of a fucking career. He had one hell of a fucking fight. And see if he chooses this fight to be the one to go out on. I think he finished on top. I think he finished in the best way you can while ending on a loss. I think that's the best way to say it. I think he went out the best way you possibly could, going out with a loss, which was put on an amazing fight and showing even though you lost, you were there to the better fucking end and you were ready to continue to go. And I think he did that. So if this is the end for him, I think he perfectly fucking finished it. But now for Islam, what's next for Islam? Is he going to go up the weight class? Is he going to defend the title? I don't fucking know. I'm actually excited to see what else, because this guy he's only getting better. The fact he's a wrestler mainly, like that's like his thing. But he was out striking Dustin Poirier, and he's just getting better and better each fight, and he's getting more dominant. And I don't think there's a lot of fucking guys that are going to be able to compete with him. Never mind have a fucking chance in hell of beating him. And that's the exciting part, because when someone comes along and gives him a run for his money, this fight proved Dustin Poirier still took Islam to a harder fight, even though he wasn't winning. He still put the pressure on. He still made Islam win, like earn this fucking win, and that's exactly what Islam did. So I think it showed potential for both of them, and it showed what type of fighter both of them are, which is to the better end until that final bell rings. They're going to be fucking standing there going for it, and that is it. But one hell of a fucking fight, man. Hats off to both fucking fighters. I would watch that fight 100 times over. One hell of a fucking fight. Both bloody, both ready to go, both ready to literally go out in their shield, die in that fucking octagon, and that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Those are the fighters that we love to fucking watch. Those are the reasons that we watch the UFC, for people like this. So shout out to both of them. Congratulations to Islam on the win. And obviously, congratulations to Dustin Poirier on a great career, if he does call it. And if he does decide to fight again, happy days, because he can still fucking contend. But yes, I want y'all to let me know your opinions down below. Do you think Dustin Poirier should retire? He has the money. He's in still good health. He can still contend. Do you think he should retire? Do you think he should come back and maybe try one more shot, couple more fights, one more shot? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think's next for Islam? Do you think Islam should go up the weight? Or do you think he should stay at the one weight and defend the title? Let me know all of your opinions in the comments below. But yeah, man, one hell of a fight. Fair play to both of them. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, as always. Hope y'all are thinking positive. Hope y'all have an amazing day. And I hope y'all are staying safe. But that is it for now. I'm going to say peace out. And I'm going to go to sleep because I'm tired of shit. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. So, peace.